Welcome back to Simple Human Design. I'm Charlie, and today I want to talk to you guys all about creativity and uncovering your creative blocks and how you can do that using human design to really come back to your true self. And, if you're sitting there needing to post on social media or create a YouTube video or whatever it is that you feel you need or you should or you want to do in your business, then I'm going to help you to put yourself in a situation, understand your design just a little bit deeper. I'm going to help you uncover those creative blocks for you. So, to start off with, a little bit of a caveat. If you are ever sitting there in your business between, four walls and, you're kind of really stuck on what you want to post about, what you want to create a video about, what you want to say to your audience, to start off with, I want to help you to understand that the language you're using, i.e., I need to do this, I should do this, I want to do this, just be a little bit aware of that language you're using because you should never should on yourself, right? So just make sure that when you are creating, you're creating from a place of just passion and creativity, and you're never creating because you should do something. The algorithms told you you should do something, or that, a business coach or the business community says that you should do something, okay? As soon as we create something from a place of desperation or force or, just, putting something out there just for the sake of it, that piece of content is just going to go straight into what I call the digital landfill. It's not going to land, nobody's going to really resonate with it. And really, we should be creating from that unique and beautiful place, not from desperation. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about sacral beings to start off with. I'm going to talk through all the different human design types, but I'm just going to talk about sacral beings to start with. And also, if you have an undefined head center, that's the center at the top of your body graph, I want to talk to you guys first because I have something for you before I go into the rest of the types. So, let's say you are a sacral being, so you're a manifesting generator or a generator, or you may be a projector who has an undefined head center as well, potentially manifester, but I'll come on to you guys later anyway. So, you guys, let's say you are just home alone one day and you've set some time aside to create social media content, to do whatever it is that you want to do, really knuckle down and get that bulk batch creation done. And you're sitting there and you have no idea what to say. You have nothing really that sort of comes out of you. And that is because naturally it's not supposed to. So if you're sitting there with nothing happening, that's your natural state of being. And the reason why, for sacral being specifically, is because you generate creativity based on what you are responding to within your environment. So if your environment is calm and peaceful and there's nobody in it and there's nothing really going on, you've got nothing to respond to. So how on earth can you create if you've got nothing to respond to? So to start off with, I want you as a sacral being to put yourself in an environment where you are responding to something out there. It might be in a client call, you come up with an idea and you quickly scribble it down. You might be out for a walk or in a cafe or wherever it is, you've got things that your body will just respond to. And you'll come up with ideas, and that really is the trick to, yeah, your sacral, response essentially. Now, one of the reasons why I've also included people potentially projectors with their head undefined is because this is also very, very similar. So, as you guys know, I'm a projector as well, and I do have my head center undefined. Now, for me, I don't go into the world thinking that I get to respond to something because I don't have that sacral, definition where I am literally responding to the energies. But as an undefined head center, I also need to put myself in the right environment to be able to come up with ideas. And sometimes for me, it's just walking. And, there's nothing to respond to sometimes when you're walking, but that is how my head center just like, gets inspirational ideas. So let's go into talking about how to unblock your creativity by human design type. So, manifesting generators. So I've got a little bit of an extra tip for you as well. So you are obviously quite fast paced and you're also very multi-passionate as well. So it's good for you to move from one thing to another. And you may not ever finish some of the tasks that you do have. And that's okay because you are really, really multi-passionate and you like flicking from one thing to another. So for you guys, you when you have a creative block, sometimes it is because you have overcommitted to something. When you first say yes to doing something, you might have this like really big energy to go and do it, and you really love it, and it lights you up, and you just want to go out there and do it. However, over time, your sacral might get fatigued by it, and you'll get more and more frustrated if you're stuck in a commitment that you have said that you want to do, and you'll find it hard to move forward. And that's what will create your sacral block, essentially. So make sure, just like I said at the beginning, you are creating an environment where you have creative flow, you have something to respond to. Okay, so that's manage ends. Let's have a look at the generators. So you have such a beautiful way of sustaining your energy when you are satisfied with the work that you're doing. And really, here, when you are feeling fatigued or unfulfilled, it's because you're not doing what lights you up anymore. So make sure that you really are, getting out there, using your sacral response, and just sort of like changing things up from time to time, because just like the manigens, you may have a sacral response to something, and at some point it then might just drain out of you. And the frustration that will come in will just keep you stuck. And again, you might feel as though you want to master something a little bit more. You might feel you want to dive into something a little bit more. And this is really going to help you to uncover that beautiful life force, wonderful energetic way that you have to really get something done and get yourself stuck in there. Okay, let's talk about projectors now as well. So with projectors, there's a lot around here around energy as well. So if you happen to be recognized and invited very specifically for something that you want to be recognized and invited for, you will find that you will have creativity. So you will be this wonderful creative person. You're incredibly efficient, so you'll probably buzz around getting a lot of stuff done, and you kind of feel like a manager sometimes when you're doing it. But your creative blocks will come when you're not feeling very appreciated in your world. So this person who comes along and recognizes and invited you, they will show you appreciation, but you may, that appreciation may drop, or you may have found that the invitation that you have, first had actually might not be quite the right invitation for you. Now, projectors, you can say no to invitations if they're not the right invitations for you. They don't, make you, really, really passionate and creative about what you do. And also, if you said yes to an invitation that has created energy and creativity, at some point down the line, that appreciation may drop off from the other person, and you may find that that invitation is no longer there. And you may have to step back and excuse yourself from that piece of work. And then you'll have to move on and find someone else who's going to appreciate you. And along with that, you also need to make sure that you are not lacking direction as well. Because when you do have that recognition, you have a direction for your aura to really, really focus on. So make sure that you're seeing and receiving the right invitations, and really, really make sure that you are diving into your system that you love. So if you haven't heard me talk about this before, projectors are amazing at really honing one particular system or craft. And when you're kind of like lacking direction and creativity, really diving into that system to make sure that you know, really knuckle down and learn it, that is what will make you feel alive again. For me personally, it's human design. So as soon as I feel like I've got a creative block, I dive into human design a little bit more. Okay, let's move on to manifestors. So, manifestors, you guys are the only type. You may have heard me talk about this on, I've got a couple of episodes, maybe a couple of weeks ago, that was about, you know, the manifester and how you guys are able to just come up with ideas just from yourself. You don't necessarily need to be in the right environment. You're not in an environment where you need to respond to something. You can literally sit in a room, four walls, a door that's closed, nobody around, no technology, and you can literally come up with ideas all by yourself, which is amazing. But what do you need to be able to do that? You need space, you need rest. And essentially, when a manifester is lacking in freedom, this is where the creativity will stop. So every time a manifester is interrupted, their flow and you know what they're doing, every time they don't feel as though they're in a leadership position because you know they're following somebody's orders, every time they're being told what to do, they will feel like they're being dampened and dampened and dampened. So if you have freedom, creativity, space in your life, you as a manifester will be able to unblock your creativity, and it will just flow out of you as you're designed to do. Okay, very last one, but not least, I do these in a particular order when I do these podcasts, so I'm really sorry. Maybe I should, you know, mix it up a little bit. But let's talk a little bit about reflectors. Okay, now you guys again are supposed to be, let me reframe that. You guys are more creative, and you find that everything flows a lot easier if you are in the right environment for you. So, environmental dissonance can really be a problem when it comes to creativity. When you put yourself in the right environment with the right people and you're reflecting out, you're being a mirror for your environment, and you feel really seen as that mirror, then that means that you will be able to just be creative within that environment. You really need to be in an environment with, you know, like a supportive group of people. And also, your creativity may wax and wane according to the lunar cycles as well. So don't worry if you feel like you're not being creative at certain times of the month, because that also comes in with how you're attributed to the moon and the moon cycles. So there we go. One very quick last thing that I usually say about sacral beings again, but I'm going to say it for everybody as well. One of the biggest things about creativity and being able to just let creativity flow once more is creating the space in order for you to do that. Nobody can ever come up with anything if they are literally just bombarded all the time. They're busy, busy, busy. They're completely, you know, knackered and tired out. And, you know, you really need to find space in your life in order to create. So, all of you, no matter what type you are, make sure you're creating space. Make sure you're relaxing or walking or resting or doing some kind of self-care, because when that happens, creativity just flows from us. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Simple Human Design podcast. I'm Charlie, and if you want to dive into your human design chart a little bit deeper, then come and have a reading with me. I get on Zoom with you for 1 hour and I tell you everything about your amazing chart. And as a little bit of an extra as well, I've now started doing my human design readings whilst I am sitting in my own Akashic records. And I bring through the ancestral wisdom from the Akashic records into your reading. So come and join me. The link is down below. And I would love to meet you and have a wonderful human design session with you. Thank you very much, everybody. See you very soon.